I've spent my entire career as a carpenter, but one project still haunts me: an antique front porch that's been puzzling me for years. The more I studied it, the more I realized just how far behind modern building tech is compared to the craftsmanship of old. Take this porch. For example, every joint is hand-cut and hand-fitted, not a single nail or screw out of place. You'd think that would mean it's more expensive. But no, people were willing to pay top dollar for something that not only looked beautiful, but also lasted longer than anything built today. The owners said they'd just been told to keep the porch as is when they bought the house. And I have to admit, I was skeptical. There are so many better ways of building, now steel beams, composite materials, but every time I try to explain it to someone, they just say it's a matter of nostalgia. As I tore apart this old porch, something caught my eye. A small inscription on the underside of one of the joists. It read, "Made by Gustav Weimer, 1895. Now, that name might mean nothing to you, but for me, it was like finding a puzzle piece that suddenly fell into place. Gustav Weimer, I'd heard his name before. In a book on old carpentry techniques, his designs were all about function and form working together seamlessly. He'd use the grain of the wood itself as a guide to determine where each joint should be placed. It's almost like he was trying to create something that would outlast its owners. But why did it take me so long to realize what I had here? The truth is, we carpenters have become too caught up in following codes and regulations. Who needs artistry when you can just follow the manual? And then there's the cost. People want cheap and fast now, and that's exactly what we give them. The owners were hesitant at first when I suggested restoring the porch to its original glory. They'd been warned about the cost of preserving history, but once they saw how it was done, well, let's just say they're proud owners now, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to pass on a piece of craftsmanship that will outlast us all. As I reassembled this porch, I kept wondering, what if Gustav Weimer were alive today? Would he see the progress we've made in materials and technology as a step forward or a step back? Or would he just shake his head and say, "You're still doing it all wrong"? Now that I'm done disassembling this beautiful porch, let me show you what I've found so far. The columns, for instance, are built around a massive tree trunk, not just any tree trunk, mind you, but one that's been hollowed out to create a central support column. This is where the magic happens. Folks, this is where Gustav Weimer and his team truly understood how to marry function with form. The stonework here is incredible. The joints are almost imperceptible. The stones themselves fitted together like a jigsaw puzzle that's been solved by some master craftsman from another era. And take a look at this. This beam here, it's not just any ordinary timber. It's white oak, sustainably sourced and harvested with care. I can tell you right now, there wasn't any particle board or MDF in sight when Gustav Weimer was working on this porch. Now, let me show you what really sets this apart from modern construction techniques. This is a mortise and tenon joint, not just anywhere, but precisely cut to fit together like a key and lock. You won't find this kind of craftsmanship in your average IKEA cabinet or Home Depot bookshelf. It's not about speed, it's about precision, patience, and attention to detail. As I delve deeper into this restoration project, I'm starting to realize that we've lost something fundamental along the way. People today are too quick to dismiss the value of traditional craftsmanship in favor of what they see as more efficient and cost-effective solutions. But let me tell you, there's a reason why these old buildings still stand strong after all these years. I recall a conversation I had with one of my colleagues, an expert on historic preservation. He said something that really struck a chord with me. You can replicate the appearance of craftsmanship, but you'll never truly capture its essence. What does he mean by that? To me, it means that we've become so obsessed with chasing down the latest and greatest materials and techniques that we're neglecting the very things that make these old buildings special in the first place. One thing's for certain, this porch is a testament to Gustav Weimer's ingenuity. As I examine each piece more closely, I'm starting to understand why it's held up so well over time. The owner of this house told me she'd received countless compliments on her porch from passers-by and neighbors alike. And yet, when I asked her what she loves most about it, she said with a smile, "It feels like home, you know. Sometimes I wonder if we're not just building houses anymore. We're creating experiences for people to live in." Gustav Weimer knew this. He didn't just construct buildings. He created spaces that tell stories and evoke emotions. That's what makes his work so timeless, so enduring. And now, as I prepare to reassemble this beautiful porch, I'm left with more questions than answers. What would it take for us to truly appreciate the value of traditional craftsmanship in our modern world? Would we need to lose a few more generations of buildings like this one before realizing what's been lost? Or can we find a way to bridge the gap between then and now to marry the best of both worlds and create something truly remarkable? As I carefully pry off the old fascia board, its weathered surface revealing a glimpse of the original cedar beneath, I'm struck by the intricate joinery that holds it all together. A mortise and tenon joint, perfectly aligned and milled to fit like a puzzle piece. It's a technique rarely seen in modern construction, where efficiency often takes precedence over precision. I recall Gustav Weimer's own words on this very subject. A good carpenter is not just a master of tools and techniques, but an artist who understands the language of wood. He spoke of the importance of waste, not as something to be minimized, but rather as a necessary byproduct of creating something truly beautiful. I wonder if our modern focus on minimizing waste has led us to sacrifice some of that beauty in the process. As I examine the porch's foundation, I notice the way the wooden posts are sunk deep into the earth, their tapered feet forming a subtle wedge that distributes weight evenly. It's a clever detail, one that speaks to Gustav Weimer's dedication to creating structures that not only last, but also adapt to their environment. But what is it about traditional craftsmanship that continues to captivate us? Is it the tactile nature of working with raw materials, the sense of connection to the land and our forebears? Or is it simply a nostalgic longing for a time when things were made to last, when people took pride in their work, and the work itself was imbued with meaning? As I continue to disassemble this antique porch, I'm struck by the realization that Gustav Weimer's craft was not just about building structures, but about crafting memories, and it's a lesson we could do well to remember in our own time. That true beauty lies not in efficiency or speed, but in the love and care we put into every detail. The joints on this porch are held together with mortise and tenon joinery, a technique that requires an incredible level of precision and patience. Each piece is cut by hand, carefully fitted to its neighbor, with no need for nails or screws to hold it in place. I've worked with many modern materials, but there's something about the way this wood breathes, expands and contracts with the seasons, that just can't be replicated. As I pry loose a particularly stubborn board, I notice the subtle patina on its surface, a testament to decades of exposure to the elements. The finish is smooth, yet still retains the gentle texture of hand-planed wood. It's not just the beauty of this porch that I'm admiring, but the story it tells, of countless hours spent working in harmony with nature, of generations passing down their skills and traditions. I've seen many people try to replicate this level of craftsmanship, but they often miss one crucial element: the love. Gustav Weimer didn't just build a porch, he built a sanctuary for his family. Every joint, every curve, every detail speaks of a deep connection to the land, to his craft, and to those who would use it. As I continue my dissection, I'm struck by the realization that this porch is more than just a piece of history. It's a time capsule of sorts. The wood itself has stories to tell, of wars won and lost, of families grown and moved away, of seasons come and gone. It's a reminder that true craftsmanship isn't just about building something with your hands. It's about leaving a piece of yourself behind. But what really sets this porch apart is the way its design seems to anticipate the needs of its users. The overhangs are deeper than usual, providing ample protection from the elements. The steps themselves are wide and shallow, inviting those who climb them to linger on the threshold between indoors and out. It's as if Gustav Weimer had a deep understanding of human nature, that we crave connection with the world around us, and that sometimes it's in the smallest details that we find the greatest beauty. As I work my way through this porch, piece by piece, I'm left with more questions than answers. How did Gustav Weimer achieve such precision? What secrets lay behind his seemingly effortless creations? And what can we learn from his craft to apply to our own lives, in building not just structures, but communities and families? As I carefully disassemble the porch's intricate joinery, I'm struck by the way Weimer used hand-cut dovetail joints to create a seamless connection between each board. The precision is staggering. Even with modern tools, it would take hours to replicate such fine work. And yet, this was done over a century ago, using only basic hand tools and no power machinery. It's not just the skill that's impressive, but the time and patience Weimer must have invested in every detail, every curve and line, every aspect of this porch that invites us to pause and appreciate its beauty. The more I learn about Weimer's craft, the more I realize how much we've lost in our rush towards efficiency and speed, a lesson that goes far beyond mere construction techniques.